It's time for Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Breaking down game-changing plays, momentum-shifting moves, the inside scoop on the team and what's next for the Noles. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, live from downtown Tallahassee. ABC 27 presents Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. Sponsored by these businesses.
Welcome to our show. It's great to be a Florida State fan on a Monday night when Coach Mike Norvell is in Cousha's and we're talking Florida State football. Come on along for the next hour, and we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about, including a 49-17 win over Louisiana. Congratulations, Coach. Tremendous victory, and had it from the get-go, didn't we? Just boom, 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 boom.
Well, so proud of our team, and for them to come out and take care of business the way that we all wanted them to. It was really a great day, and hey, let's give it another round of applause for Gene back on the show tonight, huh? No.
I'm imitating Jeff Colhane, who was doing the basketball game about a half a mile from where we are against Mercer. We'll talk about what's coming up on tap a little bit later, but I sort of favor him. I got the shirt on underneath. I got the Seminole colors on. Yeah, Jeff doing a heck of a job, and I enjoy the show, Coach. I watch it every week. Had a chance to be here a couple of times. Always love seeing Maria and Mila. Your family is here, and it's a big week. It's a big week for the Norvell family. Would you not think? Thanksgiving, Gator Week, okay. Our truest hero of the game, Coach, and generally we pick a player, an individual, offense or defense, maybe a kicker or a punter, but I thought for this week, and I guess I've got a vote of one, that I would say that our offensive line would be our truest hero of the week. And, hey, 11 out of 15 third down conversions, no sacks in the game, better than 200 yards rushing for the sixth consecutive game. That offensive line is doing a whale of a job, Coach.
No, they absolutely are. And, it's really just it's a collective effort. And, with the O-line, being able to create the space in the run game, just the physicality, the toughness. I think we've seen every defensive front that you could possibly see over the last 4 weeks. And, these guys, the way that they're preparing throughout the course of the week, Alex Atkins has done a remarkable job with that group, and you see the growth, the development. But these players, they're making the investment, and the way that they're working together. We've even had some moving pieces that have had to really take advantage of opportunities. But to go 6 straight weeks at over 200 yards rushing, in each of those contests, and then like you said, 11 of 15 on third downs, not giving up a quarterback sack, and that was against a defensive line that has some quality players that are going to be playing in the National Football League. Our guys just embrace the challenge, and I'm so proud of them. And due to that performance there on Saturday, Dylan Gibbons, he broke the rock for us, and then Alex Atkins finished it off there at the end. But just really, really pleased with the development that we're seeing up front.
Post game after a victory, you bust that rock up, and Dylan Gibbons multiple times honored as Offensive Lineman of the Week by the ACC media this season. And is it unusual for the assistant coach to pound the rest of it? Dylan put a pretty good hammer into it, I'm told. I wasn't there, but then Alex came in and pounded it to dust?
Well, it shows that, just the gratitude that our guys have, those offensive linemen, Coach Atkins does a great job, and he coaches those guys hard. He pushes them in, but the gratitude that they have for his leadership and just what he does, not only with our offensive line, but with our offense in general, and just the continued positive steps that we're seeing. Alex today was recognized. He was a semifinalist for the Broyles Award, one of 15 coaches in the country, and it's well deserved. And our coaching staff as a whole, I think, has done a really nice job, and you see the positive steps in all 3 phases. But Alex has done a great job, and that offensive line, you see the steps that they've taken, and we need them to show up big here Friday night. But really proud of what I've seen from them throughout the season.
Offensive line is our truest hero of the game. Truist is a proud partner of Seminole Athletics and the official retail bank of Florida State. It's a total bank changer. See how it is at truist.com. Coach, when you looked at the video of Florida State's dominating performance against Louisiana, I know a lot of things jumped out at it, but was there anything bad that you saw in that game? 49-17, you can't possibly see a whole lot of bad things.
It's still there. It's still the finer details, and there were some execution things that we had to be better at and really in all 3 phases. And going back and watching that game, we wanted to make sure that there was not something that we were overlooking. Yes, there were mistakes that were made. There were a lot of good things that were done. mean, to win a game like that, there has to be a lot of positives. But, it's still about addressing the issues and making sure that you don't let a small mistake turn into a big mistake you hear later on this week. And so, that's what I appreciate about our guys is, we've had a great run. The last 4 games, we've been dominant in each one of them. But, it's because of the way they're reflecting on the performance and not just patting themselves on the back for all the good, but also embracing the correction and trying to apply the lessons that they've learned from each of those games and getting better as each week goes by. And that's something that we're really focusing on here as we had practice this morning, and got to come back and do it again here tomorrow.
Mike, I watched the game in person, my second game as a fan at Doak Campbell Stadium in a half a century. 48 years, who's counting the number of years. But I enjoyed watching the game, and then I watched the replay of the television game, and 2 things stood out. One, the Wildcat. Did we score 2 touchdowns off the Wildcat in that game?
Yeah, did a good job in it.
Yeah, I like that Wildcat. Y'all like the Wildcat? Huh? Trayshawn Ward back. He's healthy. He looked good, and 2 big touchdowns. And the second thing was the 4th down stop at midfield. The 4th down stop and the hit that Jamie Robinson put on the running back. I stood him straight up and knocked him backwards, and we took it over on downs.
Yeah, no, that was a remarkable play, and Jamie is really playing at such a high level, especially as you've seen him just grow throughout the season. He had the play that will be remembered from the Miami game, and that's one that will always be talked about and shown. But then to come back and really the play on that 4th down was as good as any that he's had. Just to be able to stop the running back, and that's a big running back. He had a straight line to the first down, but Jamie stopped him right in his tracks, and that was a big play. And just really proud of the progress that he's made, and just the leadership that he's showing.
Stopped him inches away from that 4th down conversion. Come enjoy good food, good folks, and good times right here at Couche's Bayou Rouge. Couche's offers authentic South Louisiana cuisine. Is it good? Is it good? Huh? Yeah. And some of the best burgers and wings in town. Come on out to Couche's, College Town, the home of Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell, here on ABC 27 and up and down the Seminole Radio Network by Learfield. Welcome back to our show, ABC 27, Seminole Radio Network up and down the state of Florida. We appreciate you tuning in. And for the fans here at Couche's, great to see a great crowd tonight. I guess it must be Thanksgiving week, and it must be FSU Florida week. Is that what we're here for? Okay. All right, but Coach, before we talk about FSU Florida a little later on in their program, before we let you go and spend time with your family, let's further review that 49-17 win over the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, and we scored on 7 of our first 8 possessions. That's very rare in college football, in any kind of football. And we held teams without a touchdown for 32 consecutive possessions. That's better than 7 quarters. So offense and defense, everything clicked on Saturday, didn't it? No,
I was really proud of our team, and just I thought it was a complete effort, and the way that they approached the preparation throughout the course of the week, and for that to show up and to get off to a great start. I mean, all you got to do is just pull up the scores of throughout the season or any given Saturday, and you see teams that might have more talent or might be even better teams that don't take care of the business the way that we were able to accomplish there on Saturday. And so I was really proud of our team for handling the things that we could control, and came out and played at a very high level.
Yeah, just boom. We score on our first possession of each quarter, each half, and it's been an uncanny experience this year for our fans to say, we're going to score every time we get the ball to begin a half, aren't we?
Well, I like doing that.
You like doing that. You like doing it. Head coach Mike Norvell likes scoring. Well, you like scoring every possession. That's probably impossible to do, but defensively, I think that string of 32 consecutive possessions of not allowing a touchdown, and in fact, we could probably extend that to about another 4 possessions had we not put in a bunch of new freshmen that had very little playing time, but 32 consecutive, that's incredible for the defense.
I mean, our guys, they're doing a great job and playing with a lot of confidence, and Coach Fuller and the defensive staff are really putting together great plans. Our players are going out there and executing it. And, I mean, they're just playing fast, and that's what I love, the speed, the physicality, the toughness that they're showing. Even there, right there before halftime, Louisiana was able to put together a drive, got down inside the 5, but our guys, they really bowed their necks, and they were able to keep them out of the end zone, held them to a field goal, and even with that, we had a missed opportunity. But for us, our guys, I mean, there's a ton of belief, and it's the way that they're working throughout the course of the week, and guys are staying fresh. I like our depth, the competition that we have, and we just got to continue with that as we get ready for Friday.
49-17, Florida State beats Louisiana at 8-3. The Noles are third place in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we are ranked number 16 in today's polls. How about the 16th ranked Seminoles? Moving up the line, Oyster City Brewing Club. Coach, I'm going to come back and ask you a question or two about some of those youngsters that had a chance to play in the game. We know about the starters and how well they are playing to get us to 8-3. But before we do that, Oyster City Brewing Company, what's on tap and what to do coming out of this break. It's time for what's on tap, and here it is. Men's basketball right now. The reason why Jeff Culhane is not here, he's broadcasting a basketball game at the Tucker Center just down the road. We're playing Mercer right now. Tip-off, we're about probably midway through the first half as we speak here. The women's soccer team has reached the Elite Eight. The Elite Eight. They will play Arkansas this coming Saturday. On the pitch right over here at the soccer complex. I guess the first kick will be at 5 o'clock Saturday. If you're in the area, you're celebrating a Florida State win over Florida, get out and support the Lady Noles as they whip Arkansas in soccer and advance to the Final Four. That's Saturday. Men's basketball Thursday, 10 o'clock a.m. They're playing a tournament in Orlando, one game against Siena. That is your Ocean City Brewing Company. What's on tap for the week as far as the Seminoles go? When you build a lead like we had against 35-3 at halftime, dominating the Louisiana, you had a chance to play some players for two reasons. One, you don't want to get players hurt because we got a big game coming. But secondly, you want to evaluate. There's nothing better than experience in football, is there?
No, absolutely. And every player that we have, they want more. Right? They want more opportunities. They want to be able to showcase all that they do, which is it's a great quality to have. But sometimes when you are doing it in practice to get the opportunity to go in a game and to play against another team's best and to really showcase in the heat of the moment, the reaction, the technique, the fundamentals, the communication, all of those things that have to show up, it really puts on display where guys are at, and some for the good and then some for areas that we need to be able to grow and improve upon. But we've really seen that throughout the course of the year. Take a guy like Patrick Payton, early in the season when Jared got hurt, Patrick got thrust into action and has shown and just that he was ready and that he had all the preparation, and when he got put in the moment, he was able to go up and show up big and do a great job for us. And so when you get to play younger players, it is just it's a great experience for them, things that they can build upon, and just a great opportunity to pay off all the hard work they've been doing.
And coming up a little bit later on tonight's edition of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell, we'll have a chance to visit with Jordan Travis, the starting quarterback for the Seminoles. You know that. 22 career rushing touchdowns. He'll be joining us in segment number 5. But, Coach, I thought I saw Tate Rodemaker lead a scoring drive, and then I saw our first chance to see A.J. Duffy in action. I mean, considerable action. I mean, he'd seen maybe a snap or two. But what did you think when A.J. Duffy threw his first career touchdown pass? It's caught by another freshman, Marqueston Douglas. As a head coach, what are you thinking when that play took place?
No, I love it. I mean, and for them to go in and be able to execute, in that time, and just I thought A.J. did a really nice job in the game. There were some of those in-game experiences that he got to work through, and in the moment got the ball in the red zone, and you threw a great ball, whereas Marqueston or nobody, and Marqueston made an incredible catch for his first career touchdown. Yeah. Really proud of that young man.
One-handed thing, and I know that you congratulated both players when they came off the field, and as a head coach, you have to be very proud. These are young kids that are going to be playing a major role in Florida State football for the next several years, and congratulations to those youngsters that played so well against Louisiana. And, Coach, for putting those guys in, it's Marqueston and not Marqueston. Okay, Marqueston, I'm sorry. Marqueston, I'm sorry about that. Before we go to break, a reminder, Florida State Athletics would like to thank Florida Farm Bureau Insurance for their support of Seminole football. We'll have more comments from head coach Mike Norvell. We're going to look ahead to this week's opponent. The Florida Gators. Kickoff is 7:30, sold-out crowd at Doak Campbell Stadium. Can't wait for that one. Inside Seminole football with head coach Mike Norvell. We'll continue on ABC 27 and here on Learfield after this.
Deckerhoff.
Welcome back to our show. We originate here in College Town at Couches, and a little bit later on when the show is over, Coach, I'm going to have some Couches and enjoy a little meal right here in College Town. And I guess you're going to have to get back and study videos. We get ready for the FSU-Florida showdown, our 66th meeting between these two, and Florida State's got a chance to knock off the Florida game. Let's hope we do it on Friday night at 7:30. Coach, before we move to the Florida State game, we got another couple of segments, but in evaluating the team to this point in the season, we're 8-3. We have dominated opponents. We won 4 to begin the season, including a win over LSU. How big was that win? And then we stub our toe about 3 in a row, and then we come back, and now we're on a 4-game win streak, a chance to make it 5. I can't remember the last time we won 5 in a row. We got a chance this Friday.
Yeah, really proud of our guys and just the way that we've responded. And, we talk about, the growth that needs to show up throughout the course of a season. And, each week, these guys have shown up at practice. They've continued to work, continue to believe. Even when you had some of those disappointing outcomes, the mindset, it was never shaken. And, these guys, we all took ownership to the things that we needed to get better, players, coaches, everybody involved, and took the proper steps. And, you're coming off the bye week to play like we have. It's just I'm really proud of this team, and you see the maturity, you see the experience, you see the confidence, and these guys have worked their tails off, and I think that showed up in how we played in the last 4 games, and we absolutely needed to show up as we kick off here Friday night. But we got off to a great start here this week, and these guys, we're all the things we've been through has helped prepare us for the moment, and they've definitely a very confident team, and it's a very talented group that I get to coach.
As a head coach, Mike, you see these guys come in here as freshmen, sophomores. They've developed into not only good talent because you coach them up, but what about leadership on this team? It seems to me like you have leaders in every segment, special teams, offense, defense, more than just one guy that leads this team.
Well, that's how it should be. And, you want to be able to develop leadership. And, for the years, that some of the challenges that we had to experience is there had been some changes, and there had been, there wasn't the continuity, there wasn't necessarily the consistency in that. They needed that focal point is what are we going to stand for? How are we going to show up every day? What is the foundation of this program going to be? And as we've got a chance to establish that, as we've pushed that as a coaching staff. We've had players that have taken the ownership, and now they're the ones that are helping guide it, where it's not just a coach's philosophy or a coach's belief. It's our belief. It's the foundational elements and values of this program, and that's what I love, because you see the players taking the action, and whether it's a newcomer, a freshman that comes in that is making plays, or a transfer, or a guy that's developed throughout the program. Everybody's in it together, and they're supporting each other, they're encouraging each other, and they're helping hold each other accountable to that Florida State standard.
Not to speak too much about coach speak, but there's a word that goes around athletic teams called chemistry. And I look at the running back group, Coach. You got a former walk-on running back. You got a transfer portal running back. You got a scholarship recruited running back. You got another walk-on running back. And it just seems like they all pull for each other. There seems to be some chemistry, not just in the running back room, but in all the rooms.
Well, that's how you want. You want guys that, like I said earlier, everybody wants to play, everybody wants the ball, but you want guys that are going to compete with each other. They're not necessarily competing against each other, and so you've been able to take all the different skills and talents that each of those young men bring to the program, and to be able to showcase that. And I think it was a great example. There on Saturday. To see Trayshawn Ward, who's been was injured and missed a couple weeks. Trey Benson, obviously had a great year that he's had. Lawrence Toafili made some great impactful plays. A young freshman, Rodney Hill, he just played in his 4th game, and so that was going to be probably his last action of the year. But we get to see just the flashes and explosiveness that he brings. And then CJ Campbell, who I'm just really proud of, and he had an injury early in the season, was able to come back, and all those guys have made a great impact for us. But they all support each other. They work with each other, and they're there to encourage one another as they're going through this process and all the experience experience that they're gaining.
Coach, another thing is next man up, and I noticed that Micah Pittman was injured early in that ballgame running a reverse and went to the locker room. Don't know his status, and we don't want to tell anybody what his status is. But anyway, next man up, but Jamie Robinson comes in there and did a heck of a job. That's a tough job fielding punts. No. He's a man of many talents, isn't he?
And like I said, Jamie's playing at such a high level, and when Michael went down, obviously at receiver, that was you see Jakai and different guys that rose up and with the moment and opportunities they got. But then at the punt returner, I think Mike has been one of the best in the country, and definitely one of the best in the conference. And what Jamie has always been preparing, but that was his first in-game action to go out there and to be able to make an impact in the return game. And I thought he did a wonderful job fielding the kicks and taking ownership in it.
In your career, did you ever return punts?
I did.
Did you like it?
Did not necessarily like returning punts. I was a fair catch specialist. Let me tell you that.
Tijuana Flats queso question is coming up, and the question we have tonight for you, Coach, is Tracy from Atlanta, and she says, what does a rivalry game like this FSU-Florida game mean to you and to the team, and how great is it going to be to play the Florida Gators here at Doak Campbell Stadium on Friday night?
No, I mean, it's really special, and this game is one that we're going to remember forever. And to be a part of this game, I was asked about it earlier after practice, and I put so much into this game, and obviously the game earlier, earlier in the season. Those two rivalry games are critical for our program, and I want to respect them because all the great teams that have come before us, and just the matchups and the wonderful players, and what it means to our university. You need to put the respect on this game and understand the importance for what it's going to mean for now and also for our future. And so how we prepare, just the every part of it, making sure that we're doing all that we can to go play our best ball in this game. And so we talk about it at the beginning of fall camp, but it's a 365-day process of getting ready for this game that we get to kick off on Friday night.
Tracy from Atlanta, there's your answer from head coach Mike Norvell. We're fired up. I know you are too, and our fans that bleed garnet and gold can't wait till toe hits leather on Friday night. Say, did you know that reading one text while driving takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds, and that at 55 miles an hour, that's like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. Put your phone down, set it aside, set aside all distractions. Don't drive distracted, arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell will continue from Couches on ABC 27 and the Seminole Radio Network, brought to you by Learfield. Good food, good fans, and we're talking with head coach Mike Norvell. Welcome back to our show. Those of you watching on ABC 27, listening on the Seminole Radio Network, brought to you by Learfield. And Coach, it's time for our Chick-fil-A stat nugget of the week. And several things I looked at on the final stat book, but one thing that jumped out was just 4 penalties for 40 yards. That's an amazing number at a college football game, because particularly when you play as many kids as you did.
Yeah, that's something we talked about, just with our team, is that, for us to make sure that the discipline is showing up. And, the thing that we have to eliminate are the focus penalties. We had 1 focus penalty in that game, and,
wow.
Our guys are really improving in that regard. There's always things that, fundamentally we can do to make sure our hands are where they need to be, making sure that, we're controlling the controllables, and, we're improving on that, each week. And you're really proud of our team for showing up, and being disciplined there last Saturday.
Now, I've heard pre-snap penalties, but a focus penalty. Describe a focus penalty.
Yeah, just obviously all the things, the pre-snap penalties, making sure that you're not having any of the unnecessary acts, the maintaining control of your emotions, and making sure that you're not doing something that's going to hurt the team, where it just comes down to a lack of focus. And so it's one of those things that we try to emphasize throughout the week. And if you get one of those focus penalties, that's where the accountability comes in. And our guys want to try to stay away from those as much as possible.
Team has come a long way since that Georgia Tech game, where we just had a ton of penalties. I think over 100 yards of penalties, about 11 or 12, but only 4 for 40. That's our stat nugget of the week. brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Coach, it's here. Oh, by the way, during the commercial break, we heard a big round of applause and a roar, a Seminole roar, and almost got the... Jordan Travis came walking through. He's going to be our guest in the next segment. And Coach, I heard you say, oh, hadn't seen you in a while. You just left him at practice. But Jordan will be here, and Odell Haggins will be in our final 2 segments, okay? So this is our last chance to visit with Coach Norvell before he and Maria and Mila and family head to...
No, I'm heading to work.
You go back to work.
Maria and Mila, they're going to stay here and
you'll get some hugs.
Cheer on Jordan.
You'll get some hugs and go... Okay, back FSU, Florida. When you took this job, you knew that every year we're going to play these guys, and you knew how important that game was, and the Miami game. Those are the 2 big games of the year. Every game's big for a coach, for a team, but these 2 have such a big meaning, and it's the end of the season. There's a saying that says, you remember games played in November, and we always play the Gators in November. This is one we always remember. Talk about this rivalry.
No, I mean it's one of the great rivalries in all of sports, and to be here and to be able to play Friday night on a national stage, ABC prime time, it's great to be at home too. And I know the first year that I got here, this game was canceled, and we missed out on a home game opportunity. Obviously last year did not finish how we wanted to when we played on the road, but like I said, our guys have worked really hard throughout the off-season program. We've seen the growth throughout the season, and we're looking forward to Friday night and the opportunity to compete in this game. It is such an important game for our fan base, for our university, and definitely looking forward to it.
Mike, as you look at this Florida team, it's a team that on this Saturday they don't play well. The next Saturday they play like lights out. I mean, they took Tennessee right down to the wire. They stubbed their toe against Kentucky, and then this past week where they maybe look, this Florida team can beat anybody on their schedule is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a talented team, and you turn on film, you watch them play. I mean, it's they got talent on both sides of the ball. They've got some really good playmakers, and so for us, it's still about us. I mean, and we've said it throughout the course of the year, and it's one of the reasons why I think our team has done a great job of continuing to improve. Is that the focus and all of our energy is not about who we're playing; it's about what we're doing, controlling what we can control, and that's our fundamentals. That's our focus, the energy and the passion and discipline which we play with, and that's all going to have to show up come Friday night for us to go play our best game.
Anything special, different during, it's a short week, obviously we're going to play on Friday. Anything different with the schedule? You started a little bit different on Sunday, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, and really, I started Saturday night, getting a chance to get an introduction, and obviously this is one of those games that you're always aware of in the off season of what this team's going to do, and you try to get yourself some preliminary looks, but now as the season has progressed, you go in and with it being a short week, we basically cut Sunday, and so our Sunday was Monday, and now today is our Tuesday, and we'll play it out as the week goes on. But I thought our guys did a really nice job. We were one day closer to our last game, and we came out to practice this morning, and guys had great energy. Really flew around today. I liked the way that we practiced. Tomorrow we'll adjust a few things, but it's going to be an important day for us as we prepare throughout the week.
And then on Thursday it's Thanksgiving, and there's still work ahead for the Seminoles, but you have anything special planned for the team for Thanksgiving?
Well, it's actually unique because the day before the game, so we will have a team dinner there Thursday night where all members of the team will be there, not just a travel party, and have a great meal, and just make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do as we prepare for Friday, and it is a week of gratitude and Thanksgiving, and it's one thing we try to really emphasize with our guys. Last week you experienced the tragedy that happened at Virginia, and our thoughts and prayers are still with all those families and everybody working through just that terrible situation. But you're grateful for the opportunity that you have of who you get to go through this life with, the people that you get to represent, and we get to be a part of this wonderful game. And so just having that attitude of gratitude throughout the course of this week, and not just celebrating on one day, but being able to let that show up on a daily basis, and making an impact to all those that we can encounter.
Enjoy turkey on Thursday and feast on gator on Friday. Does that sound good? Does that sound good? Coach, before I let you go, I'm sort of new at this. Is there anything that you would like me to ask Jordan Travis when he comes on next? Anything you'd like me to ask him?
I think you'll do a pretty good job with it. No, I mean, let me say this. Jordan has had a remarkable year, and the growth from that young man, he is an incredible leader. He's one of the toughest young men in our program. The things that he's done, and just the steps that he's taken. He's played as good as I think any quarterback out there, and just so proud and you're honored for the opportunity to coach him, and looking forward to him having a big night Friday night, and just excited for his leadership and just what he means to this Florida State football team.
Coach Mike Norvell ready for the Gators on Friday night. We'll see you at Doak Campbell Stadium. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Tijuana Flats wants to get... Here we are talking about Florida State football on a Monday night at Cousha's. Glad you are with us on ABC 27, watching and listening on the Seminole Sports Network, presented by Learfield. A special guest here tonight. First time on the show, right, Jordan?
I think I came here last year.
Last year,
yes,
huh?
sir.
So we saved the best for our last show of the year, huh? A lot of stuff has happened since the last time you were on Inside Seminole Football. And first, let me say congratulations to the success that you have brought to this football team. It's a team game. It takes a quarterback like you to lead this team. You're doing a heck of a job, 8-3. Let's go beat the Gators, huh?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Leads the nation in third down completions, 81%. Leads the nation here in the month of November. So saving his best football for last. Now, do you like to run the football more than throw the football? What's your favorite as far as the quarterback skill position?
I like to throw the ball. Yes, sir. I do. We have a bunch of weapons now, so it's pretty easy. We have a great offensive line, great running backs, great tight ends. It's pretty easy. Just drop back and give the guys a chance.
Yeah, you scored 2 rushing touchdowns in the game, had 1 passing touchdown. Now, let's go back another game where you caught a touchdown, you ran for a touchdown, and you threw a touchdown.
Yes,
that had not been done since 1949, and I can't tell you who did it. I'm not that old. But, Jordan Travis, you did that. What was that experience like?
It was a dream come true. I've always wanted to catch a touchdown pass in college. So it was a blessing for sure. Kudos to the guys up front. I always give it to them. The offensive line has been through so much. They've had so many ups and downs throughout my career here, all the outside noise, but they come to work every single day with a smile on their face, and I'm thankful for them.
I know you just answered the question. You'd like to throw the ball more than run the ball, but you have 22 career rushing touchdowns, which is the most ever by a quarterback in Florida State history. And, oh, by the way, I think last week with those 2, it's like 8 this season, which is the most. Charlie Ward had 6, but you have 8 rushing touchdowns. Congratulations on those. Those records may never be broken, Jordan. Does that ever cross your mind?
Honestly, I don't think of it like that. Obviously, it's a blessing for the man upstairs. I used to dream of this every single day as a little boy. So living out my dream is pretty awesome, and I'm very thankful.
There are not many of us that get to live out our dreams quite like Jordan Travis, and he is living a dream for the Florida State. I'm so glad you're playing quarterback for the Noles and suiting up for the game. Stay healthy and stay strong, and let's beat Florida. Your family has a Florida State connection. Your brother played baseball for Mike Martin and had a tremendous career, went on to play Major League Baseball. So there's Seminoles in your family. Any other siblings or members of your family that are Seminoles?
My little sister goes here. Yes, sir. My little sister, she was my roommate her first year here. So I'm looking over her. I have my cousin here, my best friends here, so it's pretty awesome.
Wow, it's a family thing. Florida
Yes,
State, guard it and goal. By golly, Jordan Travis, he is a true Seminole. You sort of went up to Louisville briefly, but boy, I know your heart was at Florida State, and I think the Seminole Nation will say we're glad you came back down to Tallahassee, Florida to play. Did your family get a chance to come up and watch you play football?
They're at every single game.
I was going to say, I would think
Yes,
they
sir.
would be.
Have
they been able to travel and see our success on the road?
Yes, sir. They go to literally every game. They haven't missed one.
All the way up to Syracuse. Huh?
Yes, sir. They're there.
There was no lake effect blizzards coming up. Okay.
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir. They're there.
You've got some young quarterbacks that play behind you, and Tate got in there and ran a series, scored a touchdown. You had a chance to see A.J. Duffy. Talk about these young quarterbacks now that you compete with every day in practice. What are we looking forward to down the road?
A bunch of great kids. I always talk about the person before the player. It's a bunch of special players. We also have Gino English, which I give a lot of credit to. It's a guy that comes to work every single day. Scout team's important on both sides of the ball, and Gino comes to work every single day. Never knows if he's going to get in the game. Doesn't get many reps at practice, but he always has a smile on his face. He's always so positive. But yeah, we have a bunch of special guys.
The only time I mentioned Gino English's name when I was broadcasting play-by-play was in the spring game, and I said, "Who is this guy, Gino English?" I think his sister is a Florida State Seminole too, I believe.
Yes, sir. She is.
Yeah, did she swim at Florida?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I saw Gino in their class. I said, well, I remember number 5. I know that guy, you know. But Florida State. The first year we didn't play because of COVID, 2020 and Mike Norvell's era. And then the second game we had to go down to Gainesville, and a different experience. It's a tough place to go in and win, Florida Field. And now we get them at our place. Bobby Bowden used to say we got them in our Briar Patch. What's this game mean to you, your family, and to your team?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to us as a team. We know the meaning behind this game. Coach Norvell talks about 2 games at the beginning of the year, and it's always Miami and Florida. So we're ready for it. At the end of the day, we have to treat it like another game. It's another game. We can't get too high. It's a blessing. We're going to be part of a game and a tradition like this. We just got to go in there and play our game and keep working every single day.
On Friday evening, when you come onto the field through that tunnel, you will see a completely sold-out Doak Campbell Stadium at Bobby Bowden Field. What does that mean to you when you come out? You get chill bumps? You get chill bumps when you come out the field?
I do. Every single game, I do. I take it all in when I run out on the field. I look around. I always have a smile on my face. I know the journey it took to get here. But I'm running out with all my teammates, guys that I go to work with every single day. We work really hard in the off season. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot. So I know it means a lot to them. I'm just blessed to be here.
Now, when we beat Florida on Friday night, you didn't say that, I'm saying it. When we beat Florida on Friday night, who's going to take that sledgehammer and bust that rock?
Coach Norvell. Yes, sir.
That's what we want to. Okay, good luck, and I certainly hope that he blasts that thing and just pounds it into dust. Okay?
Yes, sir. Me too.
Jordan Travis, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Best of luck against the Florida Gators, and best of luck the rest of the season. Bowl games are coming. Jordan Travis, everybody.
Thank you.
I think Seminole fans love you, big guy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, one of the best interviews I've ever done on the television over here. Jordan Travis from Palm Beach County, Florida. All right, we got to take care of some business here, and I do want to mention that you can get free local news right here on ABC 27 or your favorite streaming device, and to watch local news and weather on time, ABC 27. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell will continue on ABC 27 and on the Seminole Radio Network by Learfield.
Gene Deckerhoff.
Here we are at Couches, and glad you joined us, ABC 27, watching and listening up and down the Seminole Radio. Now, it was a big week in the land of the Seminoles. It's FSU Florida week. It wraps up the regular season, and Inside Seminole Football is presented by T-Spark Enterprises. Want a guaranteed win? Boy, what we want a guaranteed win, huh? Call T-Spark for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. And speaking of conquering all peaks, we have Odell Haggins, defensive line coach, Florida State University, 29 years. He has bled garnet and gold as a player, as an assistant coach, and as an interim head coach. Victorious in his first bowl game against Southern Miss. And Odell, it's always, it's just great to visit with you, particularly on this program, and talk to somebody that's been around Seminole sports almost as long as I've been around.
Well, Gene, it's a blessing sitting there right here with you. Hey, wow. You're the GOAT.
Oh, I don't know about
that.
You're the GOAT. Speaking of GOATs, 29 years. Odell, they remind me of this but you are the longest tenured assistant coach at one school in college football today. Does that make you feel young or what?
Yes. hey, Gene, I feel like I'm 21.
Yeah, 21 was a good year. I can't remember that far back for me. But anyway, defensive line, I see some veterans out there doing a big thing, and good to see Fabian Lovett get back and get healthy. And, boy, he seems to be the anchor of that defensive line for you.
Yes, that was important to get him back healthy because Fabian is a kid. He was very eager to get back there. Coach Norvell said, no, make sure he's healthy. He wanted to play in the Clemson game, and we wasn't going to sacrifice his health for a football game. But Fabian came back, you know, not just as a football player, he's a leader. He's a leader out there. And, you know, Fabian, he'll tell you like it is on the football field. If you're working hard, tell the young guys, and also he leads the guys in the right way.
Yeah, in some of the young guys that are coming up, bringing them up. But how about the trench monster? I heard a story on the telecast. I watched that today, recorded it. I was at the game line. But the story they said, and I had not heard this story before, but doesn't Coop run a 100-yard dash against head coach Mike Norvell after practice? Does he do that every day? Is that true? Or were they telling a tall tale on TV?
It's true.
Is it?
Yeah, it's funny. You
Who
see
wins?
Coop. Well, one time Coop beat him. They say Coach Norvell got some interference. The guys got in front of him, and Coop beat him. Coop about to turn it back with somersaults when he beat him.
Boy.
But you know, it's a joy to see a big man like that run and taking a coach. You know, a coach started that deal with him, and it's great to see that. Your head coach running down the field and your biggest defensive player trying to beat him every day.
That's a story that I heard. I had to ask you. I knew I was going to ask you that question. Cooper, the trench monster, right? It's
Yes.
The trench monster plays defensive tackle. Going to ask you about keys to the game when we come back out of the break. Inside Seminole Football presented by T-Spark Enterprises. Say, are you in town for the game this weekend? If you are, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown, located in an iconic round building across from the Florida State University campus. Parking is always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown today. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell continues after these messages from Learfield. Show about ready to wrap up here at Cooch's. Behind the scenes of Seminole Athletics, there's a community of supporters who pledge their personal resources to provide all teams with the greatest opportunity for success. That community is Seminole Boosters. Seminole Boosters is the largest source of funding for Florida State athletics and serves the difference maker for our athletic program. Without the boosters, we would not have an athletic program. You could join the team, behind the team, for only $5 a month minimum. We want more, please. Learn more or join today at SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Odell Haggins is with us tonight, and as we wrap up, get ready for the you grew up in Polk County. There are a lot of orange and blue wearing folks down in that neck of the woods, so I know how important this game is. Scott and Wallace wants to know the keys to success, and what do we need to do to beat Florida this Friday?
Well, you know what? We're going to focus on Florida State.
There you go.
As long as we focus on Florida State, we do our job, you know, in the trenches on both sides of the football, defensive line, offensive line. And a lot of people talk about the big plays. You got to focus on the little things. You know, special teams, offense and defense playing together. To me, that's the keys to the game. Stopping the run and running the football.
Odell Haggins, Keys to the Game, brought to you by Scott and Wallace. Keys to success. To a successful week ahead, brought to you by our official law firm of Florida State Seminoles, 222-7777, with offices in Tallahassee. Odell, I know how important this game is to you. Go beat those Gators, okay? There you go. All right. Thanks for joining us, Odell Haggins, Jordan Travis, head coach Mike Norvell on Inside Seminole Football. For Chris Culp, our producer, Gene Deckerhoff saying, Happy Thanksgiving. Go Noles and beat them Gators.